Talked about planning. Now we move on to testing. Now that you've got your fancy little business continuity, business disaster recovery, MSP plan documented, written down, and you feel pretty good about it, might be a good idea to test the sucker. Okay, how do you test it? Well, some of you might be, pick up the phone and call the latest pen tester that I know you guys are all getting bugged by, right? Online, pen testing as a service and all that stuff. Good stuff, right? Good stuff. I'm not knocking it. Would a penetration test fit the bill here? Yes and no. What I mean by testing, so just so we're clear, no, I'm not saying don't use pen tests. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you're going to test your cyber resiliency, if you're doing penetration testing, that's fine. You should be doing that anyway. If you do it on yourself, that's okay. If you have an external party doing it for you, that's probably a lot better. What I'm talking about are actual tabletop exercises where you take your document, I'll call it the oh crap manual, something really bad hit the fan, right? Things are not good right now document that says this is what you do in the case of an emergency. You rip off the seal and you start following the instructions. That's what kind of a test I'm talking about. All right. So it's not a pen test. What I'm talking about is you take the scenarios. Maybe you come up with a half a dozen. Maybe it's only 2 or 3. I don't know. Everyone's going to be different. But you'll have a finite number of likely scenarios for a cyber event on your MSP practice or involving your customer. And what you should do is go through those scenarios with some regularity. We'll get to that in a moment. But maybe just start with 1 or 2. And you gather all the department heads or the key people from your company that need to be involved in this, and you sit them down and you say, next 2 hours, we are simulating this scenario. As of right now, we are going to pretend, right? You're not actually pulling, Ethernet cables out of the walls and kicking over servers or doing, you're not doing any of that stuff. This is all a simulation. You create the scenario, you get your relevant people from your company, you get them in the table, and you say, this is the scenario. This just happened. What do you do? And you watch them. And you have someone in the room that's a note taker and just kind of notating and writing down what is happening. And you will be surprised if you do it honestly and you don't just do it as a rubber stamp and, oh, we know what to do. But if you really look at it as an exercise in what would you do as a company, and be very detailed in the steps that you take. One last thing, document your test results. Very, very important. If you nominate someone in the room to be a note taker or a secretary to document and coalesce the different things that happened, document those findings and review them. And review them with an eye towards improvement of the MSP disaster preparedness capabilities and things that would be helpful to make you more cyber resilient.